Today, we'll be working with Jevon to fabricate custom footrails that extend the walking surface on both the port and starboard sides of the boat. These will also act as rub rails, give us additional tie-down points and safety grabs. That's up next on Do It with Darryl. This is one of the few jobs on the project where we don't require any design software or CNC routing. We're gonna kick this one out old school. When I arrived, Jevon had already started taking measurements and making sketches. During our earlier discussions, we determined that the footrails should run the full length of the cabin. They will allow clear access from the pod through to the bow of the boat.
Or just imagine that this square tube going all the way there, you won't be able to utilize it to step on. So I kind of think we should almost come square up from here. There's no point having it to a bullet because it'll just be a slipping hazard. You kind of want it to come out like a bull nose and then go, right? Because you got this as a step. So we just got to get from here to there.
They also give us easier access to the sky helm. He uses a tool called a bevel square that allows him to transfer the exact angle directly from the boat onto his drawings. After we go over the initial concept sketches, Jevon marks it directly onto the work table. Although the concept is simple, they need to be rock solid and fit the clean visual profile of the boat.
All right, I need assistance.
Well, this is me. This is where I come in.
Yes.
Not just another pretty face, you know.
Thank you.
Okay, what are we doing? What's the plan? What is this?
Well, we're gonna make your little side step rails on the cabin. It's a simple enough piece that we didn't want to waste the time drawing a CAD file for it. So we just did a quick little layout on the table. And if we do it on the table, then we can also use it as a jig, because we have a long enough table to build them on the table. So
so that's the angle. That's all you're trying to do with this.
Correct.
Is determine what angle. And then you just measured this angle. Is this the front or the back?
That's the forward section.
And then you just measured off the actual boat, the angle.
That's right.
On this, because it's solid, we're gonna have to drill in drain holes in case moisture gets in.
Well, yeah, we have to do that for a magnitude of reasons. So air doesn't get trapped in, because we weld them a full 360 around the part.
Yeah, around the joint.
So you have to let air actually get out from that component, each component as well.
When it heats up.
So condensation builds up inside of any extrusion. And if you don't do a weep hole in it, it will actually fill with water. And if it freezes, then it will expand and actually break the material. Yeah.
So each little side piece is gonna have a drill hole.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I am so excited for these new side steps. So they're gonna be put on the port and starboard side, so we can walk and get to the bow and the sky helm. So I'm pretty pumped about this. It's also gonna be amazing to hang bumpers and tie the boat up to the dock. So this is a key part of this build.
You want to start with a clean workbench, which no one around here seems to be able to figure out, but that's okay. We'll get there one day.
Jevon grabs a few lengths of 1¼ inch square stock aluminum from the supply crib for this job. This is a pretty straightforward fabrication and welding job. So with the measurements complete, it's over to the miter saw to cut some angles. These saws are typically used in woodworking projects, but the nature of aluminum allows clean cuts to be made when using the surface application of blade wax. Jevon is adjusting the saw for a 45-degree cut. He first cuts the long runs to the correct length. The next cuts are 2 shorter pieces at a different angle. These will be used to follow the profile along the front of the cabin. Several short standoff pieces are cut. This will add support to the full run of material.
Let's go tack these bad boys together.
Now it's time for welding. After Jevon lays out the individual pieces, he clamps the full length to the table to stop any movement or distortion in the shape caused by the intense heat of the welding. Because these pieces are highly exposed, we'll be using the more visually pleasing TIG weld for this job.
Yeah, so many times people will assemble something and not put enough tacks on it. And there's nothing more heartbreaking than doing a full layout, getting it assembled, and then moving the piece to the weld out and the parts all fall apart. It's very heartbreaking. So we don't want that to happen today. Repeat procedure.
And the angles are all the same.
Yeah, when you cut with a CNC machine, you have no option than having perfect fit.
Okay, I like it. Jevon's just finishing up the 12 short pieces, cutting on the table saw, and those are gonna help support the rail vertically from moving. We need as much support as we can get, especially if we plan on tying the boat up with this.
Perfect. So
Up higher, right? Oh, you have to
yeah, I have to cut the front, but if you keep that on there, we can move it back if you want or forward, but you just have to tell me when you're happy at the back, like how far. I would like a 1/2 inch at least from the seam so we can weld around it.
Can I put this up top and just look?
Of course, I can hold it. So you can either have that or we can move that forward to there.
That's better, right?
Yep.
I think that's better.
Okay, hold it back
Forward.
again so I can scribe it.
Always up for a challenge, Jevon asked me to time how long each of the rails will take for the weld out. So Jevon's last time on the first rail was 9 minutes, just under 8:52. Let's see if he can beat it. I don't know, that was pretty damn fast. On your marks. Who's gonna be the champ today? Get set. Go. He has a long way to go, but he's already 2 minutes and 40 seconds in.
Time!
7:55. 1 minute faster. Killing it. Nice job. You shaved a minute off.
Now we're making money.
I was gonna say time is money. With the full weld out complete, it's easy to see the visual benefits of the TIG weld. It has a really clean look.
Well, you add all that heat to the piece and you can see it's created a pretty big camber.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is clamp it back down to the table and let them cool down. and then it'll maintain the original shape and it'll keep the straightness to it.
It's amazing how much that shaped it, just the heat.
Yeah, there's a lot of heat goes into that.
The heat, it pulls it up in the direction that you've welded, like on that side.
That's right.
That's normal.
Yeah.
It just like brings it in.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
In about an hour, we returned to find out that the rails were still warm to touch. They were safe to handle, but I was still surprised at how much heat gets dumped into the material during a weld. Before we can attach the rails to the cabin, small drip holes are drilled into the underside of the rail assembly. These drip holes allow any condensation to escape and prevent water from freezing inside the aluminum tubing. It also lets any buildup of air pressure vent off during the welding. Now, it was time to tack the rails to the cabin. While I held up the aft section flush with the sidewall extrusion, Jevon squared up the bow section and tacked it into place. As he tacked each of the standoffs along the rail, he was careful to level the top of the railing to the sidewall. We used the same process on the starboard side and quickly had both foot rails in position. Jevon once again worked his magic, and these foot rails look amazing. I had a great time giving him a hand, and always learn a few things along the way. Thanks for watching today, and please remember to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next Saturday on another episode of Do It with Darryl.